Dobry wieczór wszystkim. I hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic today. I'm Mysticle and I'll be bringing you the latest in AR and VR news. As usual, you have chapters down below to skip to any specific part of this video that you might be most interested in, and with that being said, let's get right into it. So, the very first piece of news that we have is actually going to be based on future Meta devices. However, it is something that is currently inside our firmware, and with V77 slowly coming out and other users already receiving it, a future where Meta might use face and eye authentication for their devices is getting closer and closer. From Luna on Twitter. Like I previously suggested, it would appear that Meta is working to implement eye and face authentication on Horizon OS. I assume for Quest 4 and 3 Pro headsets with the needed inward-facing sensors, because of course on current devices we don't have those inward-facing sensors. It is really interesting though, seeing these strings inside the firmware, and it means that it is something Meta is at least toying around with. Not everyone is going to want to use authentication on their headsets to begin with. I, for one, am one of those people that doesn't use any authentication on my Quest devices. It means you can just fire up the headset and go, and if someone else wants to play on it, they have their own profile. I don't necessarily see a reason that I would want to lock down my device with like a pin or a pattern or something. It's not like a phone where I think someone is going to want to steal it that desperately. But let me know your opinions on that one down below. Do you use authentication on your VR headsets? And here is a pretty cool one for virtual desktop users, which I know for a fact is a large part of my audience, including myself. It's still one that I use over any other wireless PC VR software. And according to Mixed News, Virtual Desktop Beta 1.34.1 has customizable field of view and brings performance gains to MetaQuest. The just-released beta of Virtual Desktop for MetaQuest brings a handful of technical upgrades, headlined by the debut of adjustable field of view controls. The developer has rolled out this update through the app's beta channel, giving early access to power users. The marquee feature is the new FOV tangent sliders, which appear under a freshly added advanced tab in the streamer window. Early testers are already reporting major performance wins here. Dialing the FOV down to around 85% of the default setting can boost frame rates in many games, all without introducing those dreaded black bars at the screen's edge. That's an interesting one. I wonder how many people are actually going to trade performance for field of view. And it's certainly an interesting one in virtual reality, as I think if you go too low, it's going to have the opposite effect. Because, you know, we can't go too low because then it's completely mismatched with our real world field of view. And since you're changing it virtually, it's going to match even less. I haven't tried it out yet though, so I could be completely wrong on that. It's definitely one that I need to play around with to see how I feel about it. The beta also introduces a 2-pass encoding option for NVIDIA GPU owners, which now works with 10-bit codecs. You'll find this under the Streamer Applications Options tab. On top of that, bitrate foveation for 10-bit codecs is now supported on NVIDIA cards, a feature previously limited to H.264 and H.264+. A few more quality of life improvements and tweaks found in the release will be of course linked in the article down below. So in case you're interested, make sure to check out the full article in the description. Now we move on to something that is less positive, as Meta has had another round of layoffs, and once again from some of its acquired studios. So a lot of people are going to look at this quite negatively because Meta is known for, well, taking studios and some would say later on killing them, reportedly. Meta laid off dozens of employees across its acquired VR studios, including the fitness app Supernatural and Asgard's Wrath developer Sanzaru Games. The Verge first reported the layoffs a few hours ago, and a Meta spokesperson confirmed to the outlet that some teams within Oculus Studios are undergoing shifts in structure and roles that have impacted team size. In a post in the official Supernatural community on Facebook, the fitness app developer confirmed the loss of some of our incredibly talented team members as part of a move to work more efficiently. Once again, efficiency. It tells users to expect a reduced rate of workout releases, though says that more workouts will have multiple intensity options, which it claims will actually result in a greater number of suitable workouts for each user. And an update, several hours after this article's publication, Upload VR became aware of a LinkedIn post from a former employee of Sanzaru Games, the developer of Asgard's Wrath series, revealing that a number of employees were laid off from the studio in February, in a previous round of layoffs. So, once again, again, to anyone that has been laid off by Meta, thank you so much for what you've done for the VR community. Anyone developing titles for VR, in my eyes, has done a lot for this community. Since, you know, people love complaining about the fact that we're missing games, we're missing titles, but a lot of these talented developers are working very hard to get those out to us and then are possibly being laid off. So I wish you all the best in your future endeavors, and hopefully you stay within this space. But with that being said, let's move on to the next piece of news, as this one is about the Beyond 2. And the Beyond 2 is a device I was already super impressed with its specs on paper and with what we've seen from other creators. It's super impressive, the fact that they managed to get an already incredible device that beat records in terms of size and in terms of weight down even further. But as is to be expected, bringing specs up and bringing weight and size down comes with major hurdles. And it seems the Bigscreen Beyond 2 production has hit one of these, as the Bigscreen Beyond 2's first shipping batches have been delayed to June or late May if things go well. That's still not terrible, to be completely honest with you. We've seen shipping dates get pushed back much further, and this is actually not bad. The Beyond 2 and the Beyond 2e were announced and went on sale in March. The first orders were supposed to be shipped in April and May, respectively, but the headsets are now set to ship in June. Due to what the company described as far greater than expected demand, we already talked about this, the April and May batches of the Beyond 2 had already sold out within a few hours of orders opening, so this delay will only affect those initial buyers. Bigscreen ascribes the delay to a design flaw in the printed circuit board in the headset affecting controller tracking, an issue which it says testers have encountered. This is why it's important to have testers, and it's really good that they managed to find this before they shipped out those headsets. By the time it had confirmed the issue, the company says it had already produced 5,000 PCBs with the flaw, which now have to be scrapped. The company also says it has had help from Valve, with the Beyond 2 including some improvements that were previously implemented on the Valve Index that will improve controller tracking. So that's really cool. You don't have to wait a whole ton longer in order to receive your device, and you're getting improvements that could potentially make it a lot better. It's much better to test out the device and ship it out fully working and with improvements implemented, having users wait a little bit longer than sending out to users what could potentially end up being a not fully working device. So props for that, and hopefully we don't see any more delays, as we have heard really good things about this device. Here's a pretty cool one, as Porsche has apparently made an app for the Vision Pro that allows you to customize a 911 Sprint 70. Now, I think the Porsche 911 is an absolutely beautiful car, and I'm a massive fan of it. So it's unfortunate that they haven't made one of these for the Quest, as you could spend hours inside the Porsche customizer on PC, let alone inside a VR headset. But Porsche's Apple Vision Pro app lets you customize a 911 Sprint 70 in mixed reality, and proceed to order it if you have the $250K to spare. To be completely honest with you, if you're buying a Vision Pro, maybe just don't drive the thing with it on. The Porsche 911 Sprint 70 is a limited edition model of the 911 meant to pay homage to the 1970s. The company says it captures the vibrant flair of the 1970s and then wraps it in the unmistakable form of a contemporary 911, and plans to make just 1,500 units. That is really special. Prospective 911 Sprint 70 buyers can customize the exact color of the car's exterior and interior on the website, in-store, or now, for the first time ever that we're aware of, in mixed reality. That is really cool. Imagine just being able to do that with any car whatsoever. Actually being able to like place it in your living room before you buy it, if you are buying a brand new car and you are customizing the specs, and maybe, I don't know, being able to take a look at the engine, being able to take a look at how everything works. That sounds pretty crazy, but I do think it would be really cool. And we are seeing the very first apps, I would say, of that here going live to consumers. So that's really cool. Hope to see more. And one that I totally didn't expect, Apple is adding visionOS support to open source game engine to expand development options. Now, that's really cool and all, and props to Apple for actually going with an open source game engine, but you're not going to do much without controllers. That's what I'm fearing here. Even though they are working with Sony to get PSVR 2 controllers working. So in case you didn't know that, that's a thing. Potentially, maybe, that's what this is going for. In a rare move, Apple is directly adding support for its visionOS platform to the Godot open source game engine. The move expands the range of tools that developers can use to build content for the headset. Like the popular Unity and Unreal game engines, Godot is a collection of development tools that make it easier for developers to build real-time games and applications. Unlike the other two, Godot is fully open source, meaning anyone anyone can use the engine and distribute games built with it free of charge. Because it's open source, developers can also contribute features and fixes to the engine for all to use. In a rare move for Apple, the company is directly adding visionOS support to Godot, making it possible for developers to build and distribute Vision Pro content with the engine. So that's actually really cool. Did not expect Apple to do something like that. But again, without controllers, it's going to be a little bit tough to make titles, especially titles similar to what we have on Quest. Varjo Teleport 2 is apparently offering best-in-class photorealistic scene capture. The service launched in November, priced at $30 a month for up to 15 scans. With the release of Teleport 2.0, Varjo has now introduced a free plan with 5 scans, though unlike the paid plan, it doesn't allow exporting the scans as PLY files. Like Niantic's Scaniverse platform, Varjo Teleport uses Gaussian splatting, leveraging advantages in machine learning to train a high-quality output given a sequence of image views of the scene you provide by walking around with your phone. And then you can view these scans in PCVR, but Scaniverse processes scans on device, while Varjo Teleport uses high-end cloud GPUs. That's why Scaniverse is free, but it's also why Varjo Teleport produces much higher quality results. Meta also plans to let you capture real-world scenes with your phone, and releases the Horizon Hyperscape demo teasing this, but the company hasn't yet revealed details of whether this will be done on device or in the cloud, nor whether it will have a cost. We've talked about Meta's Hyperscape quite a bit. I think it's really cool, and the results we've seen from it are just awesome. You don't even need a super good connection in order to view them, but the results are fantastic. I mean, they're a lot better than what we've seen from kind of phone scans to date with photogrammetry. Photogrammetry can be impressive, but it's kind of difficult to get done right, especially if you're doing it with DIY. At least that's the results I've received. They can be impressive from far away, but from up close you can definitely see that it was done using photogrammetry. Gaussian splatting seems to be the way to go, and I am super excited to see these apps finally coming to consumers. Can't wait to scan my entire house in VR and then never have to actually leave the headset. And finally, I promised you guys we'd talk about this just a little bit in the previous video, but the new Insta360 X5 improves the quality of handheld 8K 360 degrees cameras. So it's the successor of last year's Insta360 X4, which was notable because it offered 2D 8K 360 recording for just $500 compared to thousands of dollars of previous options. Insta360 X5 records 2D 360 degrees video at the same resolutions and frame rates as its predecessor, 8K at 30 FPS, 5.7K at 60 FPS, or 4K at 100 FPS. But the Insta360 claims X5 offers a dramatic leap in quality thanks to larger sensors, upgraded chipsets, and super sampling. And I must say, this does seem to be the case. I've watched a few content creators on YouTube, including Casey Neistat, actually receive and review this camera, and it also has the really cool feature of being able to swap out your lenses in case you scratch them, which is something I am deeply terrified of on my Insta360 One R. So that is very, very good to see. But yeah, if you want to check out some videos, I'll leave some links down below from creators that have received this camera. We might actually be getting close to being able to record 360 video that isn't going to look like crap, especially when zoomed in. So yeah, maybe you'll start seeing 360 degree content on this channel in the future. Either way though, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day or night, wherever you are in the world. If you like this one, please leave a like. If you disliked it, I guess this one works too, but let me know why down below. Thank you so much to the patrons and everyone else supporting the channel. If you comment, that includes you. Yes, you watching and commenting. Seriously, it means a lot. You guys are what makes all of this possible, so much love. And as usual, if you want to be notified of content coming up on the channel, make sure to smack that subscribe button with your forehead, ding my bell, and see you in the next video. Peace. And as usual, if you want me to notified, content coming up, if you want me to notified about, I can't do it today. I can't do it. We're just gonna leave it at that. Peace out, everyone. See you in the next one.